All right, everyone. Welcome to the Austin Young Chamber Fast Start Pitch event. Woo! My name is Jake Sloan. I am the Executive Director of Naturally Austin. Naturally Austin is a professional trade organization with the mission to foster the CPG industry in Austin, Texas. And if you didn't know, the CPG industry in Austin, Texas is on fire 100%. So we're really excited to be here, and our goal is to really give founders all the tools that they need to build their businesses and have amazing CPG journeys so that Austin becomes the #1 CPG industry in the world. Yes. So tonight's Fast Start is a reoccurring pitch competition. It happens annually, and every year the industry changes. And so tonight is all about CPG. It's why I was asked to MC. And it's a partnership between the City of Austin Small Business and the Austin Young Chamber. And what the Austin Young Chamber does is focuses on giving entrepreneurs the resources and the education they need to grow their businesses today and in the future. If you're interested in finding out more about what the Austin Young Chamber does, you can go to the registration table and get all signed up for a membership. You can also see a list of all the upcoming programs at austinyc.org. Before we get started, we want to thank all of our partners, 3-Day Startup, HEB Digital and Favorite Eastside Tech Hub, and of course, HEB, who, if you didn't know, is the #1 retailer in the US. Yes. Definitely deserves a round of applause. And then I also want to thank our event sponsor, which is the Texas McCombs MBA and Texas McCombs MSTC program. And I'd like to invite up Max Cozen, the Texas McCombs MBA program, to share a few words about what they have going on. A round of applause, please.
Thanks for coming. This is a great turnout. Thanks for having us here. We're excited to be partnering with this event, really exciting event. I'm just here to quickly talk about, has anyone in here thought about getting their MBA at any point in time? Okay. Has anyone heard of the MSTC program at Texas McCombs by any chance? Okay, some people have. Okay, cool. Our MSTC counterpart, I don't believe is here tonight because I'm missing him. Nope. So I'm just going to speak about the MBA piece, but if you have questions on MSTC, you can certainly reach out to me. All of my cards and pamphlets for the MBA program are in the back as well, so feel free to, there's a front table up there you can reach out. But essentially, you can get your MBA. We've seen so much success from students going back to get their MBAs, whether it's participating in a full-time program, where you would obviously leave your current role, go back for a couple of years, get your MBA fully immersed in the program. That's a traditional MBA path. Obviously, we have focuses in marketing, product management, things like that. Then we also have, what a lot of people don't know, is we've got these evening MBA programs where you can actually stay employed, right? Stay in your current role, grow in your current role, and earn your MBA while you're working. And that's our Texas Evening MBA program. And that is Monday and Tuesday nights, class nights from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. You go throughout the year, but after about 2.5 years, you graduate with an MBA, and you didn't have to leave your job. You can, in fact, more than 70% of our students who go through that program end up getting either promoted or obtaining a new job while they're in the program from a new company. Obviously, we've got a lot of connections with the McCombs in Texas network. It's a Longhorn network. It kind of speaks for itself. I did my MBA elsewhere, but I can tell you it's pretty robust here, as you probably know. But we have those flexibility in that program, and we have a ton of exposure to case prep work for marketing specifically. So in fact, we're doing a case prep work for our incoming 2022 class this Saturday. They're coming in and we're doing a case prep for them for marketing cases. So we do marketing, product management panels, all kinds of things that you get exposed to in the program, just as you would in a full-time MBA. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. We have information sessions we post at our brand new building. Who's been to our new Rolling Hall building? It's pretty awesome, right? Like state of the art. Kind of like this. But it's a great program. We encourage you to apply and get involved. And we also have 2 programs in Dallas and Houston as well. So if somehow you end up there or are currently there, we have the same type of program you can do in Dallas, Houston with Texas Becomes Professional. We actually fly them to those markets to teach, so it's pretty cool. So that's it. Good luck with everything. It sounds like a lot of fun tonight, and thanks for having us.
Thank you, Max. I really appreciate that. So, to explain a little bit about the application process, it started in November, and they reached out to everyone in the CPG industry to figure out who is going to be a part of this pitch competition. If you didn't know how they define CPG, it's basically this. Anything that you might buy at your favorite retailer, either brick and mortar or online retailer. So that's food, that's toys, that's clothing, that's really anything that is a consumer product. And it's the C and the P in the G. So the applicants were scored by judges who really represent the CPG industry, and we have an amazing panel of judges today. And through that scoring process, they determined who is pitching tonight. So, I have the pleasure of introducing our esteemed panel of judges. We have Rocky Agrawal from the Partnership Management Program at 3 Day Startup. Thank you. We've got my good friend, Genevieve Galbraith, the co-founder and general partner of Springdale Ventures. We have Peg Richmond, the senior certified business advisor at Texas State University Small Business Development Center. Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Elsa Underwood, who is the sourcing manager at HEB, and again, #1 retailer. Woo! So to explain the voting process quickly, the scoring will be determined in 2 ways. 80% of the score will be determined by the judges and how they think, and then 20% is going to be determined by everyone in the audience. So you guys are going to have a say in who gets the highest honors tonight. All of our 4 finalists who have pitched will display a screen that has a number so that you guys can whip out your phones, send a text message, and that's how we'll do the audience voting. It's just a quick text message. Little housekeeping. Number 1, have fun. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Number 2, restrooms are in the back over there. And if you haven't already, make sure you get some barbecue. There might still be a little bit left. So, we ready to get into these pitches? Yes. So first up, here we go. The business is Tynie Nail Polish. Please help me welcome to the stage, Lindsey Tyner.
This thing on? Hi everyone. My name is Lindsey Tyner. Can we get one? There we go. Now you can see the pretty logo. All right. My name is Lindsey Tyner. I'm the founder of Tynie Nail Polish, and I'm so excited to be here with you today to talk to you about our brand. Tynie Nail Polish is a maker of a small batch designer nail polish. Our mission at Tynie is to create luxurious, non-toxic nail polish in trend-making shades that aims to reduce the amount of waste and toxic chemicals associated with nail polish. Our nail polish is non-toxic, 10-free, vegan, and cruelty-free. We're focused on creating eco-friendly polishes that create less waste. We just launched in September, and we're primarily sold online via our website, Etsy, and also wholesale distributors. So the way we see it, the problem with traditional nail polishes is that they're full of these yucky toxic chemicals like formaldehyde and parabens and phthalates, things that tend to cause skin reactions, respiratory issues, cancer, not fun stuff. So when we say we're 10-free, what we mean is we are free of these 10 disgusting chemicals that you probably don't want to mess with. Since most polish wearers rarely finish a full bottle of nail polish, which is about 12 to 15 milliliters, by the way, this polish becomes waste. Because of these toxic elements, nail polish is actually considered a household hazardous waste and should be disposed of in a hazardous waste facility. Unfortunately, most polish wearers take their unused polish and just chuck it in the trash where it ends up in our landfills and soaks into the ground. So, our solution is to create affordable nail polishes that are free of these toxic chemicals, go on in one coat, and come in a smaller bottle, 7 milliliters. Our bottles are half the size of traditional bottles and are affordable enough at $7 each that you can buy a lot of different colors while maximizing usage and minimizing waste. We aim to reduce toxic waste by offering a product that allows our customer to finish it completely without the risk of harmful side effects. We also strive to encourage and educate our customers on how to dispose of any waste they do have in a responsible way. So I believe the market is poised for non-toxic solutions like Tynie polish to flourish. The nail care market is booming with over 5 million in the US reportedly using nail care products more than 10 times a week in 2018, which is bananas to me. The global market is set to grow by 6% between now and 2025, and one of the main drivers of this is non-toxic and natural nail solutions. The compound annual growth rate for the non-toxic nail product market is expected to be almost 8% by 2023. So, why us? Why are we the one to capitalize on this and invest in? Well, Tynie was founded by me, Lindsey Tyner, get it? I'm a veteran business owner. I've been running my own web design and digital marketing company for the past 15 years. That means I have extensive experience running a business, managing a team, and digital marketing is a specific skill set that I have, which is key in Tynie's growth. I'm also passionate and knowledgeable about nail polish. I could talk about it for way more than 5 minutes. I love nail polish. I know the big brands, I know the indie brands. I also think that being in Austin is a competitive advantage for us because Austin's economy is doing well, much better than most of the rest of the nation. And also, I believe that the beauty sector here is really, really set to bloom. So we see 3 key ways to grow. So one is to continue to put efforts into our digital marketing and wholesale distribution. This is giving us great visibility online and in retail stores. And then, sorry, my slides got messed up. 2, develop new products and create product enhancements. And then 3, set up incentive and loyalty programs to create raving fans. So next steps, i.e. how we plan to use investment dollars. The bulk of newly invested money will go into streamlining our manufacturing and distribution processes. Right now, we just need more efficiency to scale our production and get our product in customers' hands faster. A good portion of invested dollars will also go towards our marketing efforts. We've had great success bootstrapping our social media marketing, but now we need money for ad buys and influencer engagements. And then the remaining dollars invested will go towards product development and enhancements. We want to increase value by offering polishes and new finishes with things like moisturizers and natural scents. And we also want to create new product lines like nail polish removers, cuticle oils, top coats, etc. So, Tynie Nail Polish is offering customers something that the market is demanding, and we have the ability to capitalize on this and bring these high-demand products to market. We'd be honored to have you invest in our success. Thank you for your time today.
All right, amazing, amazing. You can stay right there. We're gonna bring some. Yeah, you can stay right here. We're gonna bring some. You nailed it. You nailed it. Another round of applause for going first. Oh. All right. So at this stage, we're gonna open it up to some judge questions, and then we will open it up to some audience questions. Let's start with Elsa. Elsa, how do you see this playing in a place like HEB?
Well, that's the dream. No pressure. So I guess the thing about going into a retailer is there's lots of complexities there, and so I guess my question for you would be how do you make that leap from selling online, which is one whole world, and then entering the space of selling in retail and what your familiarity is with that.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, yes, the middle ground for us is wholesale distribution. We're hoping to sort of jump there and then jump into the retail market, but definitely we're going to need mentors. We're going to need organizations like Naturally Austin. We're going to need help because it's not something that it's a new world for me. But I do believe that I have the drive and I have the love of nail polish and the passion for what I'm doing, that I think we can get there. Like I said, it's definitely the dream. We always start small and then just build from there.
Amazing. You look like you had a question.
So, looking at the product and what you're doing is great. Congratulations on your success so far. How do you really see some of the things you described as kind of your moat around you? How would you compete against an OPI, whoever, if they decided that this was something the market really demanded, was it non-toxic polish? How would you win?
Well, I do believe the market is demanding it, and there are players in it, and you're right. It's hard for someone small like me to compete with that. There are tons of indie brands that you've probably never heard of that are operating successfully online. I think the way that we jump from that to something that's more well-known, something that could get into HEB, something that could compete with OPI. First of all, I don't know that we can because they're global, they sell in China. If you sell in China, you have to test on animals, and we're just not going to do that. So, but I think that for us, the wholesaling is the key to really just get in stores, small salons, and sort of work our way from there. Did that answer your question? Did I spur a second question?
And when you're talking about selling wholesale what is your plan to do that?
It's a good question. Right now I'm very focused on just getting to the wholesale part. There's so many things that have to happen for that to become a big thing, enough for us to get to a level of success where we can manufacture in bulk, because that's what has to happen before we can be an HEB or Target or CVS. So, I've got a lot to learn before I get there. We just launched in September, so I'm trying to crawl before I run. So right now, that's kind of all I can tell you.
That's great. Yeah, congratulations. Thank you.
And Peg, what sorts of barriers and hurdles do you think she has to overcome and maybe have an opportunity to shed some light on now?
I will repeat from Elsa. No pressure. Well, one of the things that I see a lot of entrepreneurs who, when they flip to the scale, they underestimate their cash flow needs significantly, and they don't understand that as the business grows and you're pushing more product out, that working capital bubble inside of your business is growing also. How are you positioned to actually incrementally scale, or are you ready to take on investors so that you can bring capital into the business and grow appropriately?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this is really my first foray into pitching Tynie nail polish to investors, and so I'm slowly learning. However, like I said, I am a business owner. I have another business, so I have experience there. It's not a CPG business, so it's a new world for me. The plan right now is I've identified a few manufacturers that we can have manufacture small batches for us. Of course, that's expensive and it's hard to keep our costs down that way. So we're still trying to identify the right manufacturer for that. But like I said, there's a lot of indie brands, so there are businesses that exist to support us small nail polish makers. So the plan is to go to that next step, and then once we hit enough level of success where we've taken on some investors, we've got some growth capital, then we can jump to making the much bigger buys as far as manufacturing goes.
Aki, yeah, you look like you have a question.
Yeah, so what do you see your role being in, sorry, for my voice is cracking. What do you see your role being in sort of educating consumers around like a lot of the things that you shared at the beginning of your pitch regarding like how people disposing of nail polishes that aren't being finished is toxic waste, that sort of thing?
Yes, so that's one of the things that I'm really trying to push, not only in our marketing, but also in our packaging. So if you go to our website and you buy some of our nail polish, it will be shipped to you, and you will not only get your nail polish, but you'll also get a little card telling you exactly how to dispose of it. We're also working to, hopefully by the end of this first quarter, to implement a recycling program. So you'll be able to go onto our website and purchase a shipping label, send your nail polish that you don't want anymore back, and then we will give you the amount of the shipping off your next order. So these are the things we're looking into. We're still, costs are a big factor in whether or not we can do that or how we do that. So we're still looking into the logistics of that, but that's certainly sort of my vision for the next couple months at least.
Awesome. Now time for audience questions. Anyone in the audience have a question? One over there. I think Shane is going to help out.
Would you consider white labeling for maybe a celebrity that has a natural Jessica type?
I mean, certainly we would consider it. That's a great question. We would certainly consider it. I do believe that, there are some things that I would have to think about with that, simply making sure that the celebrity's values align with our values. But otherwise, yeah. I don't know anyone who would say no to that. So that'd be great. If you know of anyone, come get at me.
Got one right here. This will be the last one. We'll transition.
I don't wear nail polish, which is
You could.
no surprise.
It would probably look great on you.
I'm tempted to. I'm certainly not glass of my wife in that case. So, but the quality, the value proposition to the woman, saying, is this a better quality product? Is it aesthetically better? How do you approach that? And also, are you also including that in the discussion?
Yes, I am including that in the discussion. So the quality is relatively the same as a toxic brand, only it won't cause skin allergies, it won't cause cancer, things like that. But also, we have them in a smaller bottle. Like I said, it's half the size of a traditional nail polish bottle. But you can get about the same amount of manicures out of it because it goes on in one coat, which some traditional nail polishes do, some don't. But it's definitely a value to just be able to put on one coat and let it dry and get out the door.
We're out of time, so we gotta keep moving. Y'all, please give it up for Lindsey. Thank you so much. There will be time to mix and mingle and get to know these founders, so please stick around after we wrap up and get those questions asked. This next person I'm really excited about. I actually had the pleasure of meeting him at one of our events Tuesday, so rest assured he's out there hustling, networking, and he's got a really great brand called Manna Muffins. So please welcome Chase Worthen to the stage.
Plants heal. In 2007, I was a freshman in college, having severe stomach issues. Eventually, I was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. Later on, I found healing in fruits and vegetables. After graduating college, I got a job as a buyer at Walmart in produce over the premium beverage and vegan products. During that time, I was introduced to Robin G, a chef, nutrition expert, and educator who helped me to become more passionate about nutrition. And Mark Adams, a food processing and sourcing specialist. Over a 3.5-year period, we worked to develop a whole fruit and veggie smoothie that's now on the shelves of Walmart stores, licensed under the Suja brand. Now, we're gonna do something completely on our own. We're founding our company, Enliven Foods, a whole food plant-based products and education company with a mission of making the transition to healthier eating more pleasurable by providing indulgent yet guilt-free products that are super nutrient dense. Also, providing education to help motivate people to change and help them know how to. Now, our customer initially is going to be plant-based enthusiasts, people that are already living this lifestyle, that are willing to pay a high price that we need to charge in the beginning. Over time, as our costs lower, we want to target people that are aspirational in this space. Now, our vision is to much more than just products. We want to help people heal from many of the diseases that we suffer with as Americans and as citizens of the earth. Now, we believe that can be accomplished through plants. So we have a vision to be a platform for people that are trying to live whole food, plant-based lifestyle, whether in whole or in part. Our first product is Manna Muffins. Manna Muffins are a hearty snack, or two of them can be a small meal replacement. They're made from almond, coconut, beans, flaxseed, dates, spices, whole cacao, and other plants. We have a pipeline of products that we're ready to produce, but for the next several months and likely years, we're going to be focusing on muffins. And I'm going to tell you why. First off, from a cost perspective, we've looked at the cost of ingredients, production, sourcing, shipping, packaging, and we're able to sell this pack that we have here for $9.99, and it makes 12 muffins at a 40% gross margin after shipping, and then able to reinvest a lot of that money back into marketing. Now, our competition, really we only have 3 competitors that are plant-based. These are people that are in the better for you muffin space, but the 3 that are plant-based are first coconut whisk in the purple package. As you can see, they're not whole food based, they have added sugar, and we have a better value from a retail per serving proposition. And then secondly, if we go into frozen, which we're looking at, we have a competitor in Muffin Revolution, who they have distribution in 4 states. They check all the boxes and they're a great product, but we're better from a value proposition standpoint. And if we go into the frozen space from a costing standpoint, we can offer this for $2 less at retail. And then lastly, Health Warrior, the muffin cup on the far side, they don't check a lot of the boxes, but they are plant-based. Our differentiating factor is we're made from whole foods, so you get everything that's good in the food. And obviously that we're plant-based. Now, our plan to launch this business is we're going to produce in commercial kitchens, sell face-to-face in farmers markets, then local tea and specialty retailers and shops, while also launching our e-commerce business, which will be launched softly on February 1st. To prepare to go into the channels of retail that I'm familiar with and I have contacts in. So you may ask, are people going to buy this? Well, Robin, my co-founder, had 2 restaurants and a cleaning and delivery service, and the muffins were her top sellers. And when people didn't get them in their kits, they would call and ask, "Where's my muffin? This is the only thing I get to indulge in." So we know they're going to buy it. Now, what are we going to do with the $2,500? We need safe serve training for food safety training for our commercial kitchens. The deposit and the renting of time in commercial kitchens will buy a filler and a mixer with this money, and we can buy enough ingredients for 200 units. Now, at the end, we need mentors who've bootstrapped e-commerce businesses, and we promise that we're going to give it our all in this business and bootstrap to profitability. And we challenge each one of you to help people heal through plants by voting for us. Thank you.
All right. Amazing. Well, we'll start with the judges. Rocky, what do you think?
What is the shelf life of the product?
Yeah, we've only tested up to 6 months, but likely it'll be a year or more.
Nice. Peg, any big thoughts? See you riding away.
Your price right now, retail, is $9.99 in the farmer's market. What do you anticipate you'll need to get that to in order to be into retail distribution?
In retail, it depends on the retailer and the channel, right? The $9.99 is in the specialty shops and nicer retailers and things like that, or like higher end retailers that are very small, and through e-commerce. But long term, I mean, we'll probably get down to $7.99 in like HEB and the people that are moving more units as our cost goes down. And that's, I mean, if I go back to the pricing slide, that's really where even the ones that aren't plant-based are at from a price standpoint. If you see simple meals, they're at $7.99 on their website. Obviously, they're a little bit cheaper. HEB, I think it was $6.98, but.
Also, what do you think of that pricing strategy for HEB?
I mean, obviously, HEB has, we have stores that are catering to our high-end customers, but we have obviously lots and lots and lots and lots of stores that are not. And so I think, it becomes a little bit of a challenge from a price perspective when you're, compared to a kind of traditional. So I guess my question for you would be, where would you ideally want this to be merchandised? And how do you get the customer that is not a plant-based eater to want to eat this?
Yeah, so first off, we're in the experimentation phase. And there's a lot that we still have to learn. My vision would be, this would be merchandised in the baking aisle, right? Unless there's a section that's for plant-based foods. And how do we get people who are not eating whole food plant-based diets to eat this? We make it taste great. That's the first priority of all. But that's going to take further innovation from a formulation perspective. And we're ready to do that, and we accomplished that with the smoothies that we have on the shelf, now under the Suja brand, of course. But
Genevieve, it sounded like he had some sticky consumers, and I know that's really important to Springdale Ventures. What else is important for Springdale Ventures in an opportunity like this?
I mean, I think the scale of sticky consumers would be important, but I mean, there's definitely a big market for things like this. The plant-based foods are just, it's growing really rapidly. So I guess my question, two questions. First, are they gluten-free? Can I eat both of them?
yes, they're gluten-free and grain-free.
I saw that they were both. Both.
Yes, both of them are gluten-free, grain-free.
Good news. How are you planning on, you talked about becoming an education platform. So what are your plans to build that?
Yeah, so right now we're actually just recording, so tomorrow we're recording our first digital class. So Robin, she's been educating since 2005 on this. She, if you know Dr. Joel Furman, who wrote Eat to Live, he's a New York Times bestseller, she works with him, and so she has experience in this space, she's an expert in this space, and we're looking at learning management systems. I was just talking with someone who's built learning management systems 2 days ago, so we're looking to build that either on our website or direct people to another site where that's hosted. And it may be the beginning of our funnel, our digital sales funnel. We may offer an online class for free or for low cost, and then get people into our business and then offer them products, or we may do products and then educate. Obviously, it's a tricky space to do education and products, but that stems from our mission is we really don't even want people just to buy our products. We want people to change and heal from diseases by eating more whole plant foods.
Yeah, I think that's what you said is just super key in figuring out what your go-to-market strategy is. Because when you're creating an educational platform like that, you have so much access to consumers through that, and going to retail, you might lose some of that until you get to a certain mass. So that'll be kind of an interesting thing to think about. Another quick question: are you the name Manna? I mean, one of my favorite foods when I was pregnant was Manna bread.
Yeah, I saw Manna bread the other day. Yeah, they're Mighty Manna bread. But this is the name of the muffin may change. Enliven Foods is the company, and it may end up being Enliven muffins or bites or dips or dressings. Likely, it's just catchy. So that's why we're using it now.
Good one. Well, again, congratulations.
Thank you. And again, that's the Farmers Market 1.0 package. So we have, scheduled a month or two to just think about branding and really making this. Robin's an artist, so we want it to be the package and the product to be an art that we can share with people.
Right, how about some audience questions?
Thanks. I'm assuming most people eat muffins for breakfast, is that correct?
Yeah, breakfast is the most common occasion, but people like to, I've indulged in muffins late at night sometimes.
And so,
Sometimes you just want a muffin, you know?
of how you're going to grow your product, do you look at trying to position this as a food besides breakfast, like orange juice has been trying to do? Or do you want to, because of your brand positioning, which is really starting your day with the best for yourself, and those people are starting to adopt other things first thing in the morning that is going to prepare themselves well for the society we live in? Yoga, stretching, certainly the juicing, this would fit right into that. So perhaps maybe you don't want to move off of that and really kind of capitalize and try to own that. My final question is, have you talked to, instead of going directly to retail, different hotel chains? All the big hotel chains have very niche-oriented properties now that this could fit very well into a breakfast selection in terms of room service, spas, maybe different coffee shops, etc. This would give you the ability to use them and their menu and their collateral material to brand your product. It would entice trial. So if you're on vacation, you're at a spa, you may decide to spend a little bit more money to feel good, and it's certainly, if you can get the quality of the taste up, it now gives you an entree into a consumer you never had.
Yeah, so I agree with your second point on the focusing on the breakfast occasion, and then as in experimentation phase, we are going to be looking to sell to local hotels, local shops, and really figure out where's our best, obviously, traction with customers, and where we are able to get the most profit in which channel, and then, you know, a year down the road is likely when we're going to be scaling through whatever channel we figure is the customers are responding to the best.
So I'm plant-based as well, and as much as health is a part of it, one of my biggest reasons initially was always for the environment, just try to be sustainable. And one of the things that always drives me crazy about all these plant-based foods is that they're never in even recyclable packaging, and they're always just, in plastic also, which kind of drives me nuts. Have you guys had any discussions, or what is that like, talking about maybe even a compostable solution long-term, or kind of, can you talk to me?
Yeah, biodegradable would be the best for us. Our bags, I am assuming that there's biodegradable bags out there like this, but yeah, that's important to us. Like I said, we're just starting, like February 1 is our soft launch, so we're really just getting off the ground, but we're definitely passionate about that as well as co-founders. So yeah, biodegradables would be what we go after. And so if you know of any biodegradable packages that are like this, feel free to shoot me a note. My name is Chase at enlivenfoods.com. If you have any information or questions or just connections, just Chase at enlivenfoods.com.
Any more questions? Okay, all right, everyone. Oh, here we go.
Just getting in there just in time. So I always think it's kind of fun to think of where, especially with consumer products, where somebody places themselves in the marketplace. So you talked a little bit about your competitors. Can you tell us a little bit about where you see yourself as an alternative? What you see your alternatives to Manna Muffins might be?
Oh yeah, I got it.
Right.
Just what this fellow over here said, anything that you would eat for breakfast. A on-the-go breakfast, really would be an alternative for sure. So it could even be a smoothie, could be a juice, yogurt, a bar, lots of things. But that's why we're not just wanting to focus on one product. We are wanting to prove out one product, but focus on a platform. So whole food plant-based eater or aspirational eater can come to our website or come to our brand and find solutions for them across many different categories where they don't have whole food plant-based products right now.
That's Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Do you envision that to as well be centered around plant-based? So for the alternative itself, for example, a smoothie or something else that's grabbing to go, would that also be plant-based or not necessarily?
For the aspirationals, not necessarily, but for the core customers, people that are enthusiasts in plant-based, yes, their alternatives would be plant-based. So.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for Chase, y'all. Great work. Fantastic. We're gonna move right along for our next competitor who has a really great product that claims to be the Curly Girls Toolkit. So give it up for the brand Remane and the founder, Ariel Lee.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ariel Lee, and I'm one of the co-founders of Remane. Meet Jada. She's just moved to Austin, and she's so excited, although she's a little anxious and insecure because she's in a new city, doesn't know her way around, and doesn't yet have a community. When many naturals begin their journey, they feel a similar anxiety and insecurity because there's so many products and so much information, it's difficult to understand what to trust. And when you begin this natural journey, it's important to have a community to help you guide you through the process. And to top all of that off, there is still a large stigma surrounding natural hair. Just last month, the Crown Act was passed in California, banning workplace discrimination against Black hairstyles. What if I told you that there are over 30,000 women just like Jada in Austin alone? On a national level, the hair care industry is a $90 billion industry, with the Black hair care industry making up $2.5 billion of that. Black women make up 86% of the ethnic hair care market and outspend their counterparts by 6 times. And this is largely because they're trying to figure out what works for them within an industry that does not cater to them. And so, we knew we'd have to create a solution that would help them regain time and confidence, retain their hair's health, and reframe the conversation we're having around natural hair. So now I bet you're asking, how exactly do we do this? Well, let me walk you through the journey. Jada comes to our website and she's so excited. She sees the essential toolkit. It has all of the tools that she'll need while transitioning, while going on her natural hair journey. And she's relieved to see included in the kit is a personalized hair care plan, specifically for her hair. So to get that hair care plan, she takes a short assessment and snaps a few pictures of her hair. And she goes to check out and buys the kit for $45, which fits perfectly into her budget as a young professional. And in 1 week, she'll receive her kit. In the meantime, she looks at our blog and joins our Facebook page with a community of naturals going through a similar journey. So what are we doing during this 1 week? During this time, we work with certified hair care professionals to create a personalized hair profile and plan for Jada. And in 1 week, she receives her plan and toolkit. She no longer feels insecure or anxious because she has the plan and tools to achieve her hair goals. Currently, our kit retails for $45. We sell direct to consumer. This gives us a 67% profit margin. And as we scale, this will only go up as the cost of goods goes down. Our operating costs are also relatively low. Within the last 6 months, we spent a little bit over $500 backing our venture. We plan to keep our costs low as we scale. So what's the alternative to doing what we do? Currently, the only alternative is doing all the research yourself or going out and buying all the products yourself. And for a new natural, this can cost a lot of time and money. And so we provide them with a high-value item that takes many naturals a lifetime to attain. We also pride ourselves on accuracy and personalization. We work with certified professionals and make sure the information is backed by journals. Furthermore, this is a for us biased product, meaning that both of the founders are within the target demographic and uniquely understand the pain that we're solving for. So what have we been doing and where have we been? We were founded in the labs of Product Prodigy at UT Austin, where we learn product management skills and product development skills. We just won the Longhorn Investment Competition against 29 other teams. We were featured on Good Day Austin, and we have also collected 200 unique user insights that we've used to pivot our product. My name is Ariel Lee. I have over 6 years of professional design and branding and marketing experience. My partner's name is Diogene Cook, and she has 3 years of finance and business strategy experience. Our mentors are Waziri Garuba and Ruben Kansu. We are at the point in which we are ready to scale. We've identified manufacturers as well as strategic partners, and if we were to gain funding, we would utilize it as follows. 10% would go towards our business overhead costs, 30% would go towards our branding and marketing, and 60% would go towards our product costs. We believe that with the right tools and knowledge, you can achieve anything. Thank you so much for your time.
I'm not sure. There's my mic. Genevieve, let's start with you. What are your thoughts?
First of all, great presentation. Congratulations. So what is in the kit?
Okay, let me go back to that slide. So in the kit is everything a transitioning natural needs during their journey. We figured out what would be in the kit from the insights of over 200 women. We conducted a survey looking at all the tools that naturals use during their journeys, and so it has things like bonnets, scarves, white tooth combs, shampoo brushes, etc.
So is there anything that's particularly unique to you in that kit other than having assembled it?
Currently, there is nothing that's like unique to us with IP, although as we scale, we have ideas for products in which we'd like to uniquely craft for us.
And is the hair guide, is it an app or is it kind of, is it booklet?
It currently, they will be able to access it through our portal, which will be on our site. And so it will be, because we're crafting it for them, we'll also send them a physical copy of a shortened version of it, but the extensive version will be online.
And is the online, are you creating a community around it, or is that maybe more long term?
Yes, so within the natural hair community is a really important part of it. So our goal is to create a community around our specific brand in general, but we are now working to tap into the natural hair community currently.
Amazing. Rocky, yeah, what are your thoughts?
So this is a bag of tools, but they would still need products, correct?
Yes, they still would need products, and so that's where the personalized guide comes into it, because products are super, super specific to people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so would you create partnerships with different brands that you, how would you vet those brands?
So one of the other issues around the natural hair industry is many of the products that are meant specifically for Black women are very toxic.
Yeah.
And so our goal is to only work and recommend products that are non-toxic and with values that we believe. And so we would focus on ingredients specifically, but we would also focus on recommending products and brands that have values that we believe in.
Elsa, it looks like you might have a thought.
So I guess at some point you will have to start thinking about manufacturers, actually finding someone to make some of these products for you, I would assume. So how do you think about going about doing that, going from, because currently it looks like you're purchasing a group of products and curating is kind of what you're doing. And at some point, are you considering jumping into manufacturing?
So with manufacturing, are you meaning private label manufacturers? Yes, so we've already identified the manufacturers that we'd like to work with, and we've also cross-referenced looking at perhaps doing it overseas versus in Texas or all in the US. Our goal is to, the cost of making the kit that I projected is looking at working with companies that are all manufacturers from the US. So yes, this way.
Aggie.
So I have two questions. The first is I want to go back to the kit and the products. in your recommendations, are you giving them specific types of product recommendations or absolute brand recommendations? Or here's some best options for you and here's what you might experience with them. Experiment and figure it out.
So, within the kit, we'll be giving most just specific, or within the personalized guide, we'll be giving recommendations for ingredients specifically. Perhaps like on our site and on our blog, we'll get more into specific product recommendations and within their own profile and the data that we have there. We'll give them changing new recommendations as like new products roll out. But within the actual guide, it will focus on oils, specific ingredients.
We've got time for one audience question.
Hang on, I want to
Oh, no, so sorry.
You mentioned that you had a 67% profit. Is that gross or net margin?
That is gross.
All right, here we go.
Hey there, first of all, I love the presentation. A lot of the most popular brands online right now are subscription-based, be it Dollar Shave Club, Stitch Fix, etc. How do you see your kind of brand and what's included provide, recurring customers that they would come back every month, every couple of months?
So that's a great question. As we scale, we would like to add on capability. We would like to add on products that would allow us to become a recurring, something that they could buy recurringly. At this moment, we created the kit as kind of like a base product to jump off of. So we also see ourselves being able to extend into education, because hairstyling, we understand through our interviews and the insights that we conducted, hairstyling is a really important part of what our demographic wants to do, as well as having unique and new things to do. So we would most likely kind of expand and continue to expand on the hairstyling sort of things and scale in that way, with teaching people how to do more with their hair and do more versatile and unique things. So
Let's give it up. Thank you, Ariel, with Remane. Amazing work. All right, we are getting into the last competitor. And this competitor was actually an exhibitor at the Naturally Austin Pitch Slam back in October. So I'm excited to see the brand back in the spotlight. The business is Steamm Espresso, pitched by Kevin Newsum.
How's it going, you guys? Quick high five for everybody else who's pitched tonight. All these companies look really great to me. So I am Kevin Newsum. I'm the president of Steamm Espresso. I want to share with you a little bit about what we've been working on. Let's see here if I can get to the right spot. Oh, there. Okay. Okay. So Steamm, otherwise known as Artisan Espresso on Demand, we are the world's first bottled espresso. I don't know why nobody ever thought to bottle it before, but they didn't. So we're doing it. We're trying to solve a problem. Read a study a few months ago that indicated that most of us leave 14 to 20 items on our to-do list every single day. Those start to pile up over time, and so we're faced with choices like, do I want to lead an efficient day, or do I want to honor, in some cases, the indulgence of my wake-up ritual? And we believe that you don't have to sacrifice the latter in order to achieve the former. That's because we believe the solution is Steamm Espresso. It's the world's first bottled espresso, 2 shots per bottle. It's 130 milligrams of caffeine. It will raise your eyebrows a little bit. We triple filter everything for smoothness, and we steep in raw cacao, so it's all got a little bit of a chocolate kick going on. Let's take a look at the market. It's sizable. I'm not going to go through each of the numbers, but essentially, when you break down the specialty coffee industry and the alternate caffeine industry, all the Red Bulls and Monsters of the world, there's just a lot of people spending money on that stuff, to the tune, specifically coffee, of $245 year over year per capita. This is not a super comprehensive competitive landscape, but it does kind of give you an idea of where we're trying to position ourselves. Some of these products that you see on this slide are super efficient. There are tons of caffeine in them. They're not particularly indulgent. Coffee shop guy having a very indulgent experience, not particularly efficient. We're trying to achieve both. Let's talk a little bit about the product. It is ready to drink. It's not a concentrate. You can drink it right out of the bottle. Everything is single origin. Currently we're working with a little farm out of Chiapas. Beans in that part of the world have chocolate notes in them, so it tends to dovetail pretty well with what we do. And judges, if you look at your little cheat sheets, sometimes we get asked what you can make with it. Literally the answer is anything you can make with an espresso machine, so there are no limits. We're taking a layered approach to market. So far, we've experimented a ton. We doubled down on the things that we believe work and chucked the things that we believe didn't have as much traction. We've mostly been a direct-to-consumer company through e-commerce efforts thus far, but we are working more to build onto our offline retail presence, and we believe there's an opportunity to disrupt in hospitality. Specifically, with regard to retail, we tend to do really well in high-end bodegas, so Royal Blue is a great example. They tend to be strategically positioned. There's a little bit of people are comfortable with markup there. We are also moving into digital marketplaces. We've been accepted into the FAIR program, so we have access to 60,000 wholesalers, boutiques across the country. And we're looking for the right grocery and smart market type placements. This is a photo from the pilot that we ran with the Guild during South by Southwest last year. We had bottles in all of their locations. And we like to call it Operation Disrupt the Minibar. Not everybody knows this, but minibars are kind of a loss leader. And I think we believe that part of the reason that they're a loss leader is that they're frankly not very interesting. And so we're trying to change that. Additionally, because our bottles are the size that they are, they're TSA friendly. You can get them through security. And frankly, the reason that sometimes the reason that airline coffee has a bad reputation isn't only because it's not great, it's because the airline pressure makes it difficult. So we help people subvert that. And then we rolled out format options like a large format 16 ounce for bars and restaurants, so that plays into the hospitality angle. Product extensions, right now these are the 3 products that we have on the market. Again, all of these steeped in cacao. Our original version we augment with a few grams of pure cane sugar. It's not sweet, but I like to tell people it's not angry either. Our light version is keto friendly, and we make with erythritol instead of pure cane. And then we have a limited edition brown sugar cinnamon version that we do with our friends over at Better Flavor Co. So shout out to those guys. This is the Steamm team. You guys know me because I'm up here, but I'm a reformed digital marketing nerd, so we've had a lot of fun running things up the flagpole, trying some things, and really experimenting and having some fun and some success along the way with the way that we put ourselves out there. Allison is our head of production and also is certified in working with chocolate, which really comes in handy when we're using both of those things. And Joey is our largest equity holder outside the 2 of us. He's currently helming a CPG startup in Y Combinator and has been a great sounding board for us along the way. Up next in 2020, we are looking to expand our product line. As noted, we want to add a new SKU. The hospitality pilot that I mentioned a couple of times, we want to roll it out, and then we want to, again, sync up with grocery stores in a way that makes sense for both the store and for us. With your support, here's what we're going to do. We're going to roll out the new flavor. I haven't told anybody what it is yet, but come ask me later and maybe I'll give it up. New equipment, we want to be able to obviously create what we do better and faster and more efficiently. And then we want to do some very specific things on the marketing side. We want to reach back out to the people who got to know us in the 4th quarter, make sure that we don't fall off their radar. And then also, there's some B2B things that we want to do and extend ourselves again with the hospitality folks. But I'm Kevin with Steamm Espresso, and I approve this message. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Peg, you wrapped us up last time. Why don't you kick us off?
Tell me about your market traction so far. How far are you into the market?
Early, offline, early. So right now we're in a handful of the Royal Blues that I mentioned downtown. We have found actual traction in other places that are kind of a little bit non-traditional. We just got picked up at Celis Brewery. We're in a quirky little wine bar on the east side called Apartment 115. It doesn't have an espresso machine. So what we have been able to do is slot in some ways that are probably traditional and then some others that are non-traditional when people just need a little pick-me-up here. But we're trying to double down on the places that make the most sense for us to replicate over time, which is why we would like to add more C-stores that are a little bit elevated in their approach. And then again, one of the conversations that I had with one of your colleagues had to do with the fact that maybe we might be a better fit for Central Market than we would be for HEB initially. But ultimately, we're trying to do what we do in a way that's hopefully accessible to people in a lot of different situations.
Yeah,
I'll to it. We do sell them. Yeah, we have primarily sold direct to consumer. So we do. Forgive me, but so the end of this is we do have MRR. We do have a subscription model. So you can order our 6-packs and 12-packs online. We also, for the holidays, rolled out a stocking stuffer 3-pack variety edition. So we do that too. The 16-ounce, we're getting ready to pick up a caterer in DC who wants to deal specifically in large format for those types of events. So we're trying to be flexible enough, in addition to serve some different markets, that we can respond to the needs of the marketplace. Thank you.
Also, this looks like a pretty interesting impulse point of purchase product. What are your thoughts?
So I guess my first question is this product specifically made to be sold cold, or can it be merchandised and shipped warm? And then
Perfect question. Terrific question. So shelf stable for 6 months. It'll keep it room temperature. It doesn't have to cold ship or anything, and you can keep it in a regular. I wouldn't put it in sunlight because they're hot filled. It's not cold brew. But we have tested them, and our stability study showed us 6 months. So they'll ship just fine with no. We just account for breakage, but that's it.
how are you shipping right now to like the little competitive grocery store that I'm not going to name?
Oh, sure. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Kidding.
I should have talked about
I'm
that.
kidding. Are you doing it DSD? You're delivering it yourself?
We are.
Right
Now we are. We do have product at Farmhouse Delivery, and so those guys have sold 6-packs. So it's like it's possible to augment that model, but mostly we're direct.
Genevieve, thoughts?
So, what is the price point on the product?
Retails for $3.95.
D2C also?
Direct to consumer. So direct to consumer varies a little bit. It's $20 for a 6-pack, $36 for a 12-pack.
And what's your margin?
Costs us $1.08 per bottle to make it. We wholesale for about $2.50. So there's a little bit of markup along the way, like for everyone. Cost of acquisition as it stands right now is about $10, but again, it's like we've been subsisting on this direct-to-consumer e-commerce model that we're not going to chunk it, but we're also not going to, one of the challenges with the direct-to-consumer model, you probably know better than I do, is like Shopify published that their conversion to sale rate is like 1.5%. It's like nothing. Ours is higher than that, but it's like, and we've quadrupled our mailing list in the last year. So we've had some success, but it's just tough sledding. It takes a long time and a lot of capital.
So what is your moat around your product?
Fair question. So what is the moat? Yeah, so while technically all espressos created the same way, right? That's what makes it espresso as opposed to coffee. It wouldn't be impossible for another company to come along and try and do what we do, but it would be difficult and it would take a long time. It would be painful. So I think that it's probably a lot more likely that we would be a potential acquisition target than we would be somebody wanted to put out of business. That said, I'm sorry.
Why is it difficult? You have some special machinery or manufacturing process?
Yeah. So we do have.
You're going to give your trade.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So we do have proprietary machinery that we use to crank this stuff out. We don't need a super pretty 4-group La Morasco to dazzle the coffee shop people with. We just need workhorse machines, and our formula we crafted through a lot of trial and error and blood, sweat, and tears. So, you know, you could throw a dart at a dartboard and hit exactly the same place, but it would be very specific and it would be hard for them to do. We believe. Thank you.
Rocky,
What's the primary way in which people are consuming the espresso? Are they taking it out of the bottle and drinking it right then and there? Are they taking it home and making drinks?
So that's part of the reason why we put those little cheat sheets in there, because what I have learned is that the coffee mafia is real. Like, everybody is very specific. It's a very personal thing, and people like it the way that they like it. And so we try to be flexible in that way. We work with a couple of roasters in Austin, and one of them I watched slam a 2-shot bottle right in front of me, and then do the math and figure out that he was just roasting beans that day, and so he's like, I'm just going to be standing around, and now I've got all this energy. So what I would say is, contingent upon how much coffee you drink, or anybody else in the audience, your best bet is to just know your caffeine levels. Like, it's the equivalent of 2 strong cups of coffee, so it's like, for me, it works better if I make an iced latte and cut it with a little bit of milk or almond milk. I can do a half shot in the morning and a half a bottle in the afternoon. But I've seen little guys who are just superheroes when it comes to their caffeine intake who can do a whole lot.
All right, audience questions. Yeah.
Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you.
I'm wondering if you see caffeine pills as a competitor of yours.
No, but I mean, I guess if you like, so where the giant Venn diagram of the coffee spectrum is, like, I'm sure caffeine pills are in there somewhere. Like, if by caffeine pills you mean, like, so maybe specifically I would see an application for those among students or people who are pulling doctors. I don't know, people who are pulling all-nighters. Hopefully not doctors. But the gist would be, like, you know, again, that's a super efficient experience, but not a very indulgent one. So it's not to say that you couldn't do both and achieve the same end, but I think the guy who takes the pill is just looking for means to an end. The person who drinks Steamm, we hope, is obviously interested in the journey a little bit.
Hi, I had a question about, because of the same Venn diagram, your product was on the indulgent side, and I know in specialty coffee, like in specialty coffee shops in Austin, they are making the move towards being more transparent in like their farm sourcing and what types of beans they're using, and also just like fair trade practices and fair costs. So I was wondering if you could speak to that and why your coffee is also considered very indulgent as well.
Yeah, so some of the reason that it's indulgent is just because we've gone to the extra trouble of adding some things that are, I mean, besides the fact that we triple filter it to make sure that it's sort of extra smooth, like some coffee can be really acidic. You know, I joke about it being angry, but like that's kind of how it comes across sometimes. With our stuff, we really try to take that out of there. And then the other thing is, so one of the roasters that I work with teaches some college courses on specific to coffee, and one of the things that he and I talk about often is that per coffee bean, your taste buds can extract 850 to 950 individual flavor notes per bean. Those are extracted to a greater degree at a higher temperature, which is why your coffee tastes different if you drink it scalding hot and then you leave it out until lunch. It's not just the temperature, it's actually, there's a little bit of science there. So with cold brew, or specifically what we're making, like more of an iced espresso type product, typically, we're to simpler flavor profiles. So we're not trying to be everything to everybody. We're creating what in some circles is probably like a little bit of an introduction to espresso for people who are not, it's not black coffee guy, somebody who's interested in an indulgent, elevated experience, but also again, something quick and easy off the shelf.
All right, let's give it up for Kevin. Okay, it is voting time. So we're gonna pop up, I think we're gonna pop it up on the screen. If not, I've got the number right here. There we go. So you'll take out your phone, this is for the iPhone, and text either 1 for a tiny nail polish, 2 for Manna Muffins, 3 for Remane, and 4 for Steamm, to the number that you see there. And what these competitors are looking for tonight is a $2,500 cash prize and an in-kind prize valued at $4,000. And that $4,000 prize is, maybe this one will work a little bit more consistently, a 1-year corporate membership to the Austin Young Chamber, 3 months of free rent at Capital Factory, 1 ticket to the 2020 Global Roundup Conference for 3-day startup, marketing startup packages from Honeycomb Creative, inclusion into the next Naturally Austin Expo Hall, and 3 series business classes from the City of Austin Small Business Program. So thank you to everyone who donated some prizes, and I hope that everyone here got to see how exciting this CPG industry is. It is really on fire and skyrocketing, and so we really appreciate everyone coming in and being a part of this community. So we're just waiting for some of the judge to come in now. The tension is building. While we're waiting, I'll tell you a little bit more about what we do at Naturally Austin. So I mentioned our mission is to foster the CPG community and founders in Austin. We do that basically in 3 ways. We provide access to community to make sure that founders and business professionals have to a network so that they can have people beside them to help grow their businesses. And then we have access to education. So we have 1 education event a month where we focus on 3 different facets of building a business in CPG, and those facets are sales and marketing, finance and operations, and supply chain. And then the last thing that we do is we help founders get access to resources. And we do that by giving them access to mentorship. So every Naturally Austin member has access to a mentor portal where they can go in and find something that they need for mentorship that's specific to their business need and get connected with a mentor. We also have monthly mentor meetups where we feature people who have been successful in the industry, and we allow our members to book 10-minute kind of speed dating mentor sessions with them. And then the last thing that we do to make sure that we are building access to resources is that we have our annual Pitch Slam competition. And our goal with that is to pack out the room with as many investors, capital funds, and give as many founders a platform to tell their story, so at the end of it, they have access to new capital. So that's what we do at Naturally Austin. You can find all this information at naturallyaustin.org, and keep a lookout for all the events that we do. We do 3 a month, and you can find those at naturallyaustin.org/events. Man, nailed it. Perfect. We got the scores in. Just as I was wrapping it up, amazing. So, at this point, I would like to invite up Jacqueline Mayo, the Classes and Event Coordinator for the City of Austin Small Business Program, to the stage to present the winner.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Mayo. I'm the Class and Events Coordinator for the City of Austin Small Business Program. I think Jake forgot to tell you what the winner is going to get tonight. So I'm just going to run through it really quickly while they finish doing what they're doing, the little magic in the corner over there. So our winner tonight is going to get $25,000 in cash. Yeah. Oh, $2,500. Ignore me. It's those muffins I had. It's those muffins. An in-kind prize is valued at $4,000. A 1-year corporate membership to the Austin Young Chamber. 3 months free rent at Capital Factory. one ticket to the 2020 Global Roundup Conference by 3-Day Startup, Marketing Startup Package by Honeycomb Creative Company, a guaranteed inclusion at Naturally Austin's Gala Expo Hall on March 26th, 2020, and 3 series business classes from City of Boston, well, not from me, from the City of Boston Small Business Program. So that's a lot, and you guys should be really proud. Congratulations, you did an awesome job. I'm sure you're just dying to find out, just as much as I am. But really quickly, just to let you know what the City of Austin Small Business Program does, we have a whole host of classes that we provide. We provide one-on-one coaching to local small businesses. If you are at that point in your entrepreneurship journey, whether you're just starting out or if you're ready to expand, we are here for you. We will take you to places that you've never been. And that's what we want to do. We want to see you grow. We want to see you succeed. We're just not out here to say, okay, we'll go, make your muffins and be happy. But we want to know how we can help you make those muffins and make those muffins better, and where we can get you and get you on that shelf. We're going to give you the tools and resources that you need to do that. So never think that we're just the city. We're more than just a city. We're your friend. We're your helpers. We'll help you make that magic happen. And if we can't help you make the magic happen, then we can send you someone who can help you make that magic happen with us. So beyond that, as I said, we have classes that we provide our entrepreneurs. I know QuickBooks, scary, mind-blowing. We offer those classes. Marketing, social media, accounting, record keeping, marketing. We have it all. Visit our website. We just have a ton of resources there. And if you need help, call us. We'll walk you through it. We're not going to leave you out in the cold. So with that, Alicia, there you are. We want to announce who our lovely winner is. Are we ready? Can I get a drum roll? There's
So thank you to everyone that came out. A big round of applause for our judges. Applause to our finalists. I know there were a lot of questions that we didn't get to, so please stick around, meet them, ask those questions, and thank you all for coming and have a good night. Thank you.